Hello, fellow bookworms. Unless you've been living under a rock, I'm sure you're familiar with Miss Haley Pham. And in case you have been living underneath a rock, she is a very well-known booktuber here on this platform. She's also my inspiration for getting back into reading after a long hiatus, and further inspiration for creating book content on YouTube. So without further ado, let's get started.
Alright, so I'm currently at Barnes & Noble's. I'm at this one out near Redondo Beach. This is probably like the nicest Barnes & Noble's I've seen like ever. It looks like there's like 2-3 stories, so I'm gonna do a bit of exploring. But I am here on a mission. I am here to get Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I think that would be in like the sci-fi section, so I'm gonna go look for that. Bad news, and I also have bad news. The patio for outside on the balcony is closed, so I cannot show you that, nor can I read on it. And then also number 2, I was looking for None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell, because that is the second 5-star read that I was interested in reading, and this location doesn't have it, so I'm gonna have to get that at another time. So I'm trying to decide if I want to get a romance 5-star read of hers, or if I want to just stick with this purchase today and then just read Happy Place because I already have it. Oh, I don't know. But after this, I'm planning on heading to the beach. I'm actually out with a friend today, so I'm headed to the beach to read. It's Labor Day, and I'm super excited because it's a beautiful day out. Many days later. This week has been kind of crazy for your girl. I didn't have a whole lot of additional time to read, nor did I have a whole lot of additional energy to read. But today's a new day and I'm ready to dive back into this book. I am currently on chapter 5, page 36. So I've gotten a little bit into it, but not that much. I would say so far I've been a little confused. There's a lot of terminology and world building so far that isn't quite clicking or making sense for me yet. But hopefully as the book continues on, I kind of will begin to understand it a bit more. Hey y'all, so it is some days later. It's like a week and some change later, like almost 2 weeks later. I haven't been filming, but I have been reading. I'm still on Red Rising. Honestly, I would have gotten through this book sooner if I wasn't like so busy, but I have been kind of busy lately, just like studying and just other stuff that's going on. Doesn't matter. But I've been reading it. I'm almost finished with it now. That's about like as much as is how much I have left. I understand why Miss Haley gave this a 5-star. Like I'm obviously not at the end yet, but the way that this book just like continues to surprise me, continues to blow my mind, continues to leave me like gasping, like no way. Like I love it so far. I can't wait to finish it. I have work today at 4. It's currently like 1:20. I'm gonna do the best that I can to finish the rest of this book and give my overall rating. Y'all, I absolutely cannot with this book. I haven't finished it yet. I've made some progress. I don't even know how many more pages I have left of this. I think I only have like one chapter. maybe 2. I only have 1 more chapter left of this book. They are not about to leave me on a freaking cliffhanger. I'm not even done with the book yet, and 5 out of 5 stars. Let me finish it and then I'll come back. Y'all. Alright, so we have officially finished 1 of Haley's 5-star reads. And I'm not gonna lie, I understand why she gave this book 5 stars. It like grasped my attention from beginning to end. I didn't really ever feel that there were any slow moments. Like, it was just, and I'm not really like a fantasy or, well, this isn't really considered fantasy, like a sci-fi or like, I used to love like dystopian type novels when I was younger, like in high school, but like as an adult, they haven't really captivated me as much. But this, I can't, like, I literally cannot wait to read the rest of the series, because the way that this ended, this book just blew my mind over and over and over again. And it really bothers me that I can't go into details about why. All I can say is that this gets a 5 out of 5 stars for me. So moving on to our next book, I've already have the next one picked out. I know that Haley really loves Riley Sager. I believe that he's a horror author. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is his novel, Lock Every Door. I'm really excited to read a true horror novel. Like, I've read so many books that people say like, oh, this is scary, da da da. And I don't know, I have not been scared by them. I don't find them to be scary. I'm really hoping that this is different. So far, I'm trusting Haley's recommendations, so hopefully this is another 5-star read. Y'all, don't mind my absolutely insane appearance, but I wanted to give you guys a book update. I'm still on Lock Every Door. I'm on chapter 31, as you can see. This book was kind of like difficult to get into. Not because it's not good, not because it's not written well, but it's just kind of slow. Like, you know what, like how certain mystery novels are, like it's just provides you with a lot of minute details. Kind of like that. So it was kind of like slow going for a while there, like definitely very slow pacing, you know, not necessarily bad, but just kind of, it was hard for me to figure out where the book was going. But I just got to a really good part right now where like the ball just dropped, and then now I feel like everything's about to pick up, like the pace is about to pick up, and it could potentially get really wild. So I just wanted to update you guys with that. I'm enjoying it. I'm really excited to keep reading. Like, I'm at the point now where I'm completely committed and I'm okay with the fact that I may be up at 2 a.m. trying to finish this book. I will check in with you guys later. I will let you know if I end up finishing it tonight. And if not, shall see you tomorrow. Hi friends, I come bearing updates. So I finished Lock Every Door last night. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very disappointed. I'm not saying that the book wasn't good. I don't know, like I've been really interested and really excited to read Riley Sager's writing because Haley like loves him, like she raves about his books. And so I was really going into this expecting like something extremely creepy and, you know, different and unlike anything I've read before. But honestly, this book was very similar and reminded me to another book that I read. I think the name of that book is The Paris Apartment. They're very similar. Honestly, I ended up figuring out about like halfway through the book who you know, the culprit was, who the bad guy was, the plot twist. Like I pretty much knew where the book was going and what was going to happen in the book before I even got to it. So that kind of like took away part of the excitement for me. I feel like a huge part of like reading a mystery book is the unknown. You know, you don't know, you know, what's going on. You don't know who's behind it. Like, and so the whole time I kind of already guessed. So there was no point in the book where I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe this. Like there was no point where it really like, I don't know, like left me I don't know, like it didn't surprise me basically. So because of that, I rated this book 3 stars. It wasn't a bad book. The writing wasn't terrible. I just found it slow in certain places. I don't know, like I just felt like there wasn't really a lot that happened. Like I feel like in this book there was opportunity for a lot of creepy things to happen. I feel like there was opportunity for some really spooky stuff to go on. I just feel like the ball was kind of dropped. I feel like there was so much more he could have done with this book to make it more interesting, to make it more like terrifying. You know, like this book didn't really terrify me. It just felt like another like mystery thriller. Like I don't even know, like it wasn't even that thrilling. I just feel like there was a lot that he could have done that could have made this phenomenal. So yeah, 3-star rating for me, not bad. Would I recommend it to somebody looking for a thriller novel? Sure, but I personally probably won't read it again. Anyway, on to the next book, the last and final book, Happy Place. I'm not gonna lie to you, I've DNF'd this book. Like I've started it before. I feel like something about Emily Henry's writing, I love her writing, I love her books, but like starting off, like it's definitely a slow burn. It takes her a minute to get to like the actual romance part sometimes, I feel, which can be kind of, you know, boring a little bit. Because like for me, when I'm reading a romance novel, like that's what I'm here for. I'm here for the romance. So in this book, I've read a part of it already. It's basically about a couple. They met in college, you know, they were part of this friend group, and you know, they started dating. They have like this perfect relationship, and their friend group, they always visit like one of the friends, like her father had like a cabin that they go and visit, you know, and they have like a lot of memories there. And so basically this friend's dad is selling the cabin, and so they're all like meeting up together as like a last hurrah, but like nobody in the friend groups knows that the main 2 characters have broken up. So it's basically kind of, the trope is fake dating, which is like cute. I actually personally, that's one of my favorite tropes, but I find it's like a little hard to get into because we're going back and forth in time. We're looking at the present where like the couple doesn't really like, you know, there's obviously tension between them because they've broken up, as well as, you know, we're going back in the past and seeing how they met and how their relationship formed, which is cute and I like it, but I'm trying to get to the romance. So that was my only critique with this, and I feel like that's why I DNF'd it, because I just felt like it was a little bit slow. But nonetheless, everybody has given this book a 5-star. Everybody raves about this book. I love Emily Henry. I already know that she's a fantastic author. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this another try, and I will let you guys know what I think. Hello, ignore the mess back there. It has been many days since I have filmed, but I am finally on the final chapters of Happy Place, and y'all, this book is so good. Like honestly, I wasn't expecting to like it because the first time I read it, I just wasn't feeling it, but honestly, I don't even know what I was on, because when I read it this time, I'm like burning through it because it's so good. Like it has literally all of my favorite tropes, and like the way that the things are happening, it's just like, it's perfect. Like I hate when like you're reading a book and like you want 2 characters to get together and it's just like nothing but things happening over and over and over again that are like keeping them separate. But that's not really the case in this book. Like you can like feel the love that these characters have for one another, and like even when it comes down to the friendships, like you can feel like these are actual like real friendships, and it like made me cry. Like I've cried so many times reading this book because there's like certain parts in here that reminded me of my relationship with my best friend. I don't know, like this book is just really good, and it gave me all the feels, and I'm honestly so happy that I read it. And yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up. I'm absolutely gonna finish this today, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts at the end. So let's get into it. I loved this book. Like I loved it. I loved it. I ate it right up. I loved it. I like so much so that I would read it again. And that is saying a lot for me because I'm not someone who typically rereads books. I can think on one hand the amount of books I've done that with. Typically, I like to be pretty fair when it comes to rating a book. I like to just go based off how I feel about it, obviously. But just really whether or not like it was able to spur an emotional reaction out of me is something that is a huge factor when it comes to when I'm rating something. So I'm definitely rating this high, but I do not know if I would give this 5 stars. I'm a really harsh rater when it comes to romance specifically. Like typically I like to be pretty fair across the board. I don't know, like there's people that have put so much time and invested so much into creating a book, so I don't typically like to rate books on the lower end. I really like to go based off whether or not I was able to connect to the characters, whether or not I enjoyed the story, and whether or not the book was able to garner an emotional response from me. And this book definitely did that. I cried on multiple occasions. But the reason that I'm not giving this a 5 stars is because the only romance book I've ever rated a 5 stars is The Hating Game. That was a 5-star read for me because as soon as I finished reading the book, I wanted to read it all over again. Like I literally read it back to back. Like that's how much I love that book. Like it was 5 stars. So when I put books in that category, it's because it's a book that I loved through and through. I enjoyed it beginning to end. There were no points in the book where I felt that it was slow. There was no points in the book where I was bored or like didn't care. Like every moment I loved it. So I'm not rating it that high because although I loved reading this and I enjoyed it and I definitely do want to read this again at one point, I'm not gonna read it again right now. Like it wasn't that good to where I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't stop thinking about these characters. It wasn't that for me. So because of that, I'm going to be rating it 4.75 stars. Why did I say it like that? 4.75, I had to think about it. It was just like a hair away from being a 5-star read for me. That is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Honestly, I think that Haley and I have pretty similar tastes when it comes to books. I really did like all of the books that I read in this video. If you guys have any recommendations for me, please comment down below. I'm always looking for new books to read. I'm always looking for new authors. But yeah, that is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.